big old period piece. Lots of things looked very practical. What was the either most absurd line item or thing you had to procure?
Great question. Well, we built Nottingham. I think we built Nottingham town and castle in the 12th century. I mean, literally built the entire thing on the back lot of the studio in Belgrade, Serbia. And it's an incredible set. And we had the amazing opportunity to build the whole thing.
And everything you see, I mean, it's from the swords, the costuming to the tables, the furniture, it's all handmade, all of it, all of it. So it's not like we rented, I think we built all of it. So it's kind of fun that way too.
So on the budget, that just came in as Nottingham. It's just one line item.
It's just one,
like, that'll get
how big that was a big one. Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's a big number.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Pretty crucial to the story. So, and speaking of the story, we have seen the Robin Hood tale many times before, but what was one thing specifically you were determined to do differently with this telling?
Tell an origin story. I mean, tell the story that hasn't really been told. Like, how did this legend, this rebel, this sort of freedom fighter become that person? So we start all the way back in his childhood and with his parents and his community and his village that he lives in, and we understand the oppression that they're living under. And the whole arc is like this journey from this boy to this sort of outlaw to this legend, and doing the same thing with the sheriff too, telling a much more nuanced story of the sheriff, a much sort of three-dimensional version of that character, as opposed to just the guy that just seems crazy obsessed with killing Robin Hood and never actually catching him, it seems.
Same answer for you. You could say ditto.
yeah, ditto. For sure, ditto. I think, making it have this very strong emotional core. Yeah. There's always a lot of action adventure in Robin Hood. There's always a lot of, heroicism, if that's a word. But making a story that like has this incredibly emotional engine behind it, and that I think has been missed from a lot of Robin Hood stories in the past. And for us, this is, as John said, this is all about what happens to the father and to the parents, and it's about sure, it's about vengeance and avenging, but it's about grief, it's about loss. It's about tyranny, and blah, blah, blah. But, there's this very strong emotional core to it. And I think that was key.
I think that should be your tagline: tyranny, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. I do also love, though, that, women in this version, like, have agency to a degree, and are playing a much more active role than I think in a lot of, versions we've seen before. And I want to talk about the Queen herself. How did you get her? How'd you get her?
I don't know. We still don't know. Yeah.
We wrote the part literally with her in mind. Yeah. I mean, literally we wrote that role for an amazing actress, and then, Connie was really right top of the list. I mean, and we were just incredibly lucky that she read it. She loved it. She loved the character. She knew the character. As a European actress, she knew the character well. And, Eleanor of Aquitaine is arguably one of the most famous, kind of bull-busting independent women of her time.
And she influences the story. I mean, when you talk about agency, what you realize as the story goes on throughout the season, Eleanor is she's playing chess. You know what I mean? And she's moving all the pieces across the board, and she's a fascinating character. And I think that's probably what drew Connie to the role as well.
Yeah, she's a manipulator, but she's a politician, but she's also been kind of put in a difficult position by her husband, King Henry II, but in real history, they were like the two most powerful people in the world. And she was the most powerful woman in the world since Cleopatra. So, yeah, it was a pretty cool character for any actress to play. And I think Connie Nielsen just, she saw that and nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just not just playing chess. She's playing three-dimensional chess.
Yeah.
She's like 10 steps ahead of everyone from her like locked position. That is my time. Thank you all so much. Congrats on the series.
Great. Thank you.